We need to make.
Yeah. Okay.
He will grab his right beside.
See, I thought I saw him here.
I don't.
I was.
You guess.
You guys ready? Oh, we'll take it.
Well, he was here, now he's back.
Our LED meeting didn't.
Probably had to run down. Do
I
you want me to go get Roger?
Ready?
Come and get Roger.
Yeah, please.
Roger coming?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, he's talking to Brian out in the hall.
Oh,
You look nice.
Well, here comes some guy.
Hi, Fabian.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm okay.
Usually it's you
What?
that were.
Fuck anyway.
You want to lead us in the pledge?
Sure.
I begged to it.
Let's stand for the pledge, guys.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jenny David.
Here.
Roger Mayhew.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley.
Present.
Craig Scott.
Here.
Mark Serber.
Here.
Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
No.
Wanted to add, discussion regarding. Safety. Committee. Which would tie in with the building security committee.
That under G?
Sure. Thank you.
Any other additions or corrections?
No, I'll make a motion on it. Except that,
We don't need a
oh, we
motion.
don't need a motion.
Public comment. Any public comment in the room on agenda items only? Any public comment on the phone? Appointments. We have 4A, consideration of candidates for Advance Board of Directors. I believe one of the candidates is here. Come on up. You.
Who, me? That's usually what comes, but
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Want to tell us your name, please?
Kathy Schnauz.
Want to tell us, is her application on her?
Yeah, they're both.
I see Jeanette's.
Both.
Okay. Do you want to tell, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Been married for 39 years, been in the medical field since I was 16, retired in 23.
Good for you. And you are applying for the Wellvance
I did.
experience as far as I see district library?
No, that's.
No, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, sorry. Questions, guys? I'm in Michigan Medical Center.
Yes, that's where I retired from.
What sparked your interest for this?
My husband.
Okay.
you get away from them? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He suggested that I apply. My dad was on the mental health board down in Sanilac County for over 35 years. And we thought it would be something that I'd be good at.
You're on the Board of Elections for Churchill Township?
Yes. And board of the review.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions for Kathy, guys? I believe the other candidate's going to join by phone.
This all looks pretty good to me. I don't have anything.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you.
Commissioner Serbrook and myself, we're currently on the Wellvance here. Being here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have Jeanette. You on the
I
phone?
believe she was gonna zoom in.
There, she's on.
Yeah.
Hi, Jeanette. Can you hear us okay?
On mute.
You're still muted. There you go. Hi.
Thank you for letting me zoom in. I have a library board meeting here in a few minutes, so I appreciate that.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sorry. I've been the district librarian for 30 years. Adopted 2 special needs kids we fostered them and then we adopted them. They've been through a lot of services, through well vans, through hospitalizations, through private psychiatrists, all kinds of that kind of thing. And our son is currently in a co-home in Tawas City.
Okay. So your interest for being on the board?
I've had to fight for the services that my children get, and I feel that that I've done a halfway decent job of doing that. I also see it as a librarian. Our branches have the staff in here using our internet, and we've helped them provide clothing and food and other things for individuals that are suffering. We've also seen a lot of that in the library with the homeless population. We had one a couple weeks ago that was seriously mentally ill, and we worked to figure out how to get him the services that he needed and get somebody to take care of him. So I feel I see it different ways, not just personally as a mother of two special needs adults now, but as a librarian who sees a population in need.
Questions? Commissioner Wilson, you're on the board. Do you have an opinion or question for either candidate?
Would there be a conflict of interest here with this possible candidate?
No, they actually want either a lot of those, and if you remember from the conferences, a lot of the people that are on the boards are actually consumers themselves. They want families that have consumers in the system. They try and do a blend, and that's where we lack actually is in people that actually have family members or themselves are consumers. So, with her having two adult children that are, receiving services specifically from well advanced, I think she's excellent choice. No offense. But I mean, she's lived it and she's still gonna live it. I talked to her yesterday on the phone and I think for the sounds of it, she's gonna be living this for the rest of her life. Because it sounds like she's got at least one that's gonna be in either adult foster care or a consumer operated home is what I call for the rest of us, for the rest of her life. So it sounds like so.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Serbrook, then. I've been to two of these and that you said that, I definitely agree with you on that. I was under the assumption a lot of those were like liaisons with the CMHs. Those are actual.
They are actually board members.
Okay, well then I feel it'd be very valuable to have someone that has this lived in experience and currently going through it as well.
It's actually a state requirement to have those kind of board members on the board.
A percentage.
Hopefully lack of
A percentage of them, but ideally it's a third, and a third. A third of general public, a third public official representing the public sector, and then a third either consumers themselves or have family members or close relationships with people that are consumers. So
Well, Vance's boardroom is severely lacking that. That I can think of right now,
there are a couple, myself included. So I'm on two sides of it. I have my stepson's in a consumer operated home.
If it's required to have three different types of members, then are we asking for a particular type right now?
Not right now. The board is pretty much balanced right now.
Well, you're lacking one person
Correct.
out of 9.
There's what, 6 or 12,
Out of 12, you're lacking one.
correct, from Ogemaw.
Oklahoma County.
So how many counties are there involved?
3. Iasco has 6, Ogemaw has 4, Oscoda has 2 members on the board.
Okay, but now out of these 3 divisions, you've said family, close to it, and general public.
Well, there's the public.
The general.
general public. Then there are public officials, elected officials,
Elected.
governmental officials.
Okay,
And then there are either consumers themselves or family of consumers or somebody that ideally it's family, it's a consumer or family.
so where do you fit in?
I
know you fit too.
right now I fit in two categories, but when I was off the board previously, I fit in the family.
Right.
Because my stepson Tyler
Right.
receives services
I
from
understand.
Advance, and so
So what, out of the 4, 4, and 4, where are we lacking? Where's Well Vance lacking?
the family. Either the direct consumer or a family member of a
When
consumer.
you have the opportunity to, a family has applied for this type of,
Yeah.
But she would have qualified because she's been in the medical field, she's seen it, so she can relate to the experience. So she was not disqualified just because she did fit the criteria to be on the board as well.
comments, questions. Does anybody want to give an opinion as far as member they would like? Appreciate we actually have two that are applying for this. It's very rare. So again, we appreciate both of your interests. Please continue. The more involved, the better. We unfortunately don't typically see that.
Well,
So,
based on what you're telling me, I'll go with the librarian
Yeah, in all honesty, I think Jeanette would be a better,
based on what you're telling me. And
again, no.
And then I would hope that the husband will convince her to run for something else.
he's very active
Yeah,
in Churchill.
seems like he's got some kind of sway, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna mirror Jeanette. I just had a comment for you.
He said it.
I also had a special needs child that is no longer here, but I'm gonna mirror your frustration with services. So again, thank you for applying for this position, and I think you're an excellent candidate as well. So continue that fight because it's a tough one.
Thank you.
So are we gonna vote on it next week?
Yeah, I think we definitely,
Okay.
thank you again. Discussion items, morale contest.
So this comes from,
Mural. The
Okay.
morale.
Right.
We're not picking mushrooms.
Employee morale.
Stop.
this comes from the prosecutor Phillips,
Phillips customer.
put together,
Commissioner Scott, enough. What
she put together this contest rules based on the
conversation?
conversation that the board had, and just wants you to review them and approve them at next week's meeting if you feel that they meet the criteria that you talked about.
Comment.
Go ahead.
I mean, this is good stuff. I appreciate the time and energy that LaDonna's putting into this, and it's a great opportunity to showcase. It's a great location. I support anything that's going on with this stuff. I don't really have any room or right to critique any of it. I think it's all great and I support it.
For the general public, this is a contest for the wall going up the stairs there. We had some brief discussion as far as what we were gonna do. LaDonna brought it to us. Some type of painting, someone that lives in Ogemaw County, and we came up with some general conversation as far as it being a student. So these are the rules that were put together for this contest, so just so everybody knows what we're talking about. Commissioner Scott, comments?
The $250 coming out of contingency or
We can't, we
fundraising?
can't pay.
We can't.
We can't pay for paint on our own wall?
You can
They're
pay.
just painting the wall.
We're gonna pay for the supplies.
Supplies. Oh, okay.
We can get donations.
That's exactly where LaDonna was going.
Donation
She's
is-
going with it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What she's thinking.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely donate.
I just thought they was gonna paint it different colors, that's all.
Anything else? Did you have an opportunity to look at the?
I did. I'm very happy to see what she's got there, so I don't see any.
The deadline's May 1st. So if you guys know anybody, any type of student at all that is interested, please seek, this is gonna be posted on our website, correct, Tom?
Once we approve it.
Pardon me?
Yes, it'll be posted on our website.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amendment to lease agreement with West Branch Township.
Okay, this amendment to the lease agreement was mailed to me by the West Branch Township clerk. I asked him to be here tonight to explain what it was about. And that's,
Is there anybody here? He didn't show up, correct? Yeah, I'm not a come
What
to,
I can tell you is the tower company wants to put a cell tower up and they want to do it on the park property, on the RV park property. Thing is we leased, we got that 100-year lease, 58 years left on it. That we're leasing the property but ultimately it is West Branch Township property. This is the first I've seen this. I'm not happy that they want to take 100 by 100 out of it and then they're just, it appears to me they're planning on wanting to take the revenue from it. And I just soon the park get the revenue.
well, I guess, can you explain that? You lost me somewhere with it.
This tower company wants to put a cell tower up on the RV park property.
Okay,
And we're leasing the RV park property from West Branch Township. And we have a 58 years left on our lease. So it appears that, because the deed says that the township owns the property ultimately, we're just leasing it. So it appears that they've brought up this contract exemption, so they want to exempt 100 by 100 and a road going to it.
yeah.
For them and take it out of the RV park. And of course, the tower company's gonna pay a monthly fee for this tower to rent that spot. And it appears that West Branch Township wants to get that. And since we lease the whole property, I don't know, we're already collecting for RVs that park there. Why can't we get the revenue for a tower park there?
What's our lease agreement? What do we pay for that?
$1. $1, I don't know, it's $1 for 100 years or whatever.
But we maintain it and,
Yeah, we maintain all the properties and stuff, and this, it's just like the park that's over there on Dam Road. We own all that and we lease it to the West Branch Township. I said back 10 years ago, we should just swap leases and.
well, I'm definitely not. I know you and I talked earlier this week and you had invited him, and there. So I'm definitely not approving anything without talking to this individual.
sure.
He
And
had plenty of notice to come.
I sent out the invite, I don't know, about a week and a half ago. I think I copied you on that.
Commissioner Wiltie?
I mean, this is a request to create revenue for West Branch Township. They should have an official here and talk to us in person about this, and then we decide and move forward from there. But I really don't even want to talk about this again until someone
Correct.
can come to a meeting and talk to us.
Right, I agree. You
I
guys
agree 100%.
Okay, that was quick and painless. Transit HVAC replacement project and related grant. You have, Fabian, you want to take the lead on this?
I guess so, since Tony's not on the line. I had mentioned last week that I was working on an RFQ for a proposal to replace the HVAC system. And afterwards, I talked to Tony on whether or not that had come to this board yet, and it had not. And so I wanted him to put together this memo to kind of give you the background of what's going on before we sent out the RFQ to see if there was any issues at the board level. So it's basically for discussion purposes and bringing the board up to speed on what the plans are related to the HVAC system over at the transit building. And,
So this has been going on since September of 2025? It
it's
says?
been going on, the first draft on the RFQ, was in August.
How come it hasn't been brought to us before this?
Mr. Chairman of the Transit Board, Commissioner Serbrook's on the transit, this is something that's been on our radar on the agenda because, we keep asking questions and pushing for it because it's a great opportunity. It's grant funded and it's a whole new HVAC system for our transit building. I guess I'm not aware why it wouldn't have been brought to us yet, but this is a good deal, right? This is going to be paid for through grant funding. We just need to make sure that we do it right.
Right. And that's why I was rewriting the proposal. The original RFQ had been sent to MNOT, came back with comments. And because Tim wrote the original RFP, he had it as, they wanted it as an RFQ. And so I made the changes that they asked. But I realized that this board as a whole was not aware of the project, and that's why I wanted him to write a memo and for us to bring the full board up to speed on it before we went out for quotes.
So did you complete the RFQ
Yeah.
like they want you have? Okay.
Yes, and so I sent that over to Tony yesterday, and he's gonna send it back to MDOT to make sure that they agree that we made all the changes that were necessary.
And then it'll come back to us and then we'll put it out for bid?
Well, I guess is that the normal process that you see the RFQs before they go out? Or I guess I'm looking for direction on that because
Before we put it out for RFQ, don't we have to make sure that we're gonna get this funding?
Funding's there.
The funding's there.
So you've got the funding.
We've got $75,000.
Yep.
So the request for quotes is gonna be, he's gonna send it out to see what those quotes come back at, see how close we are to that $75,000.
So then if we've got the funding, what had to be changed from the?
the wording of, they didn't like, for example, they didn't like the word proposal or bids. So we had to eliminate those words throughout the whole document and change it to quotes. Then there was, some minor grammar stuff. It was not anything significant that was changed. It was just making sure that our document fit their criteria.
As long as we have the fundings there,
It's typical state of Michigan.
I would have thought.
We have to jump,
Funding
we have to jump through their hoops to get the funding.
I would have thought they wanted it corrected in how they wanted it before we had the funding, but I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your guys' plan?
Well, we get it out for RFP and then hopefully get a good competitive price and that 75,000 covers the entire project and we can get it done with no cost to the county.
Again, we won't know until we get those quotes back. This is just the formality of, I think, Tony just saying, this is where we are with it. Fabian's completed the RFQ. Tony's gonna send it back to MDOT. MDOT's gonna say, okay, they made the changes that we want. So then they will send back, we approve your wording on your request for quotes. Then Tony can get it out to vendors to get the quotes to come in. So it's just jumping through the state's hoops.
I gotcha.
It's just.
Commissioner Scott, questions?
Just make sure that he does it and has it on the proper way that they can respond and it's publicly put out. That's all, want to make sure it's done right.
And the timeline that it needs to be done too.
Yeah, announce a timeline and everything.
Okay, so what are you looking for from us?
This is purely to inform you of what's going on.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Nope.
Comments? Thanks, Fabian.
You're welcome.
Sterling and McLaren Funeral Home Director, Phil Stevens. Come on up, Phil. Thanks for coming. You want to get all the other commissioners up to speed on what's been happening?
Yeah, I was supposed to be joined by Matt Fresh and one other, but kind of the same as the township, they're lacking this evening, but nonetheless, here, well, first of all, Phil Stevens, Sterling and McLaren Funeral Home, those that haven't met yet. Here tonight to talk about the medical examiner's structure here at the county. I'll be as quick as I can, but the gist of it is I think there's a couple of issues going on with the structure of how the medical examiners group is set up. As you know, just in the past 8-10 months, we've got a new medical examiners group. The previous group that we had, we thought we were on a really good track there. They were providing services and, you know, thought they were going to do a real good job. Didn't turn out so much. But however, they handled not only the informational side of it, the administrative, but they also handled the logistical side of it as well, the transportation of the bodies, and so forth. The current group that you guys signed on with, they're lacking in that logistical part of it. Through no fault of your own, we just believe that there's a problem that's going to arise with that logistical side of things, and that's kind of what my talking point is about here. And here's the thing: is we are kind of doing that right now. Far as like logistical, the body holding, the pickup, and we're doing it, you know. And again, it's a tough one because here's the deal: the funeral homes have really been kind of come down on here lately, especially as of March, April of last year, 2025. We've really run into some problems with Laura holding the funeral homes accountable for a lot of things that not only just new things that have come up, but also some previous things. And they're starting to dole out some fines. And the biggest issue here that is the problem is the funeral homes bringing into their care a body that has not been specifically asked for by the family to bring into our care. That's the gist of this whole thing here. So we're going out to the scenes, whatever it might be, whether it's a, you know, an unclaimed body, an accident. I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why the medical examiner is called, right? So we're going out, bring them into our care. We shouldn't be doing that. That's the gist of it. And this has come to our attention that there's been multiple funeral homes that are being cited for doing that. I pulled up Laura's disciplinary action for the past year or so, and it's quite extensive actually. So that's our concern. And again, it has nothing to do with kindness, willingness to serve, anything like that. It's merely trying to do what the law says. Kind of just look at some bullet points here, make sure I'm catching everything, I guess. But we have sought legal counsel on this with our Michigan Funeral Directors Group. Legal has made it very clear that how they interpret the law, and the law says that we are not to hold bodies in our care unless the family has specifically asked us. And they say otherwise. So we kind of at odds there a little bit. They say we can do that for them. Our group is saying we cannot. So that's kind of where we're at. And I guess the biggest thing is, again, through no fault of your own, you signed up with a group that's said they would handle the ME services. And they are doing a fantastic job administratively. They just have no logistical body pickup and holding facilities at all. And that's where we're at.
Can you tell them what our previous organization did?
Previously, they did it all. They did.
Which means what?
Administratively, they respond. Well, so say an ME call came out. They would respond for the death. MEI, which is the medical examiner investigator, would go out to the scene. They would gather the information. They would, they had a vehicle, they had a cot, they'd bring the body here. They would transport it where needed, autopsy to their morgue, whatever that might be. When the body was released, they called the funeral home that the family had chose, and they would go get that body, bring it back into their care. And then they would sign death certificates. They would do all that. So it was working. The problem was that administratively they fell apart. And I think everybody knows I don't know if they use CEO. I don't remember what his title was.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I don't know the details there. So, and again, so the new one, they do respond, they do administratively, but they don't have a vehicle, they don't have a cot. That's not, and I think maybe it wasn't explained very well you know, upfront that they were going to do this ME service for you. But they didn't really say that, hey, we're not everything for you. We're only this part specifically.
Well, they have no storage and there's no storage. Our funeral homes also don't have any storage, so it's not, the previous one I thought had contracted with McLaren along with, they also had their own facility.
Right. They had structurally, they had it. And that's why it was like, we thought, man, this is going to be great. But yes, because the storage was in Saginaw, they had that big facility there. Locally, though, they contracted with McLaren to keep, you know, temporarily, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which the current one does not have any contracts
Yeah.
with anybody.
No.
We met with Phil and what was his name?
Matt Bresch.
Matt
Yeah, and myself.
and Lisa,
And Lisa, and then,
Commissioner Serbrook.
yep, Commissioner Serbrook, and then I think the lead,
MEI.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last week we met for about an hour and a half and tried to come up with a solution. And there was two separate understandings of the law.
Right.
And Lisa was gonna call Lara herself and I have not, she was supposed to contact all of us again, and I have not heard anything from her at all.
Yeah, so the governing body over us is LARA, Lara, which is the Licensing and Administration Bureau. That's kind of who oversees us as like a licensing, you know, entity. And anything that would happen, you know, out of sorts, they can come down and fine us, and they can revoke licenses and do all kinds of stuff. She reached out to them, a phone call with her just this week. I don't think it went how she wanted it to go. I know she spoke with somebody and they were going to escalate it, and she wasn't getting those answers. So I think she's going to continue that route, but I don't know how that's going to go. I can't see them doing anything because it's literally, this is the law. And in order to change that, they would have to rewrite some law to do that. And that's not just like a quick thing.
And on the other side of that, the ME is relying on a section of law that says if they are acting as an agent of the ME, then they can do it. So the ME side of it is, well, there's a law that says if you're acting as our agent, you can transport, you can hold.
Right.
They're legal for their association saying, we don't want to put our people in jeopardy doing that. So it's, you've got one side saying you can do it, another side saying you can't do it. What she was trying to do is get licensing and regulation or regulatory affairs to come out and say one way or another, can they or can't they? And knowing how the state of Michigan works, I wouldn't hold my breath that she's going to get a straight answer. I really doubt it. It'd
So
be nice if they would. So
Here we are.
what do we do for these guys?
Well, it's not,
You know,
I'm just bringing it
and the
forth to
family,
you.
exactly.
Unfortunately, this isn't a funeral home problem. This is a county problem, and not, again, through no fault of your own. It's this, how the grouping, you know, how you guys come about with this company and them providing what you thought to be a full service. And the way that we even look at it is that they should be able to be provided a full service, but they don't offer that. They only offer administratively that service. So then it's on the county to figure out, well, how are we going to do the transporting and the holding and all those things? Their solution is, let's just use a local funeral home. And that's been their solution. And that is their solution and again, they're not here to defend themselves, and I'm not blaming them. I'm not even upset with them at all. But they have 17 counties that they run the same exact thing for. I have a feeling that I believe next month, MFDA, which is the Michigan Funeral Directors Association, is going to come down with an actual statement ruling on this. And when they do that, I have a feeling that that's going to create a firestorm through basically all of Michigan, specifically in their 17 counties. Because if that is the deal, there's 17 counties there that they're not handling properly, or going to have to find a way to handle it properly.
they were invited
Yes.
to this meeting. And they didn't want to come. Yes, Commissioner Scott.
Who's Lisa?
She is the you can explain maybe better than I.
She's the one that gave us.
Yeah.
She's,
I think
matter.
she's a director of,
the CEO or the owner of our
Yeah.
medical examiner.
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, well, that's
I like her.
fine, okay,
She
that's great,
does, a
Yeah.
couple times.
okay, well, I just didn't remember her name,
Okay, sorry.
I don't have any,
okay,
with,
So-
with the
so-
company, I have no problems.
okay.
And the problem lies in their ability to do that last step for the county
Well, they must,
and keep everything
so
legal.
they're not doing it, your guess is they're not doing it for 16 other counties, right?
That's my no, they're not.
They're not.
They're
So-
relying on funeral homes
Funeral homes to do
to
it,
do it.
but you're not supposed to do it. By law, you're not supposed to do it at all.
Right.
So what are they gonna do when you look at them at the scene and say, well, I'm not gonna take that body?
That's why we.
That is why we're
If you
here.
don't have, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
so
seriously.
what are they gonna do? What are they gonna, what is their reaction, you think, if you say, no, I'm not taking it?
They would call the next one and then the next one and then the next one until somebody said yes. And when that,
And somebody
and when
will,
that funeral home says yes, that's the problem. They'll find somebody, but what is the liability there?
so do they pay you to take these bodies? They don't, you're just taking them.
We're taking them because ultimately it's the family's responsibility when there is family, but when there isn't,
Okay,
that's a whole separate subject.
well, it is, but it isn't, I
Yeah.
mean, so you take this body that nobody's claiming,
Right,
okay?
okay.
And I can understand that,
Mm-hmm.
and where do you take it?
To our funeral home.
For how long?
That's a good
We
question.
ran into
Well,
problems.
thanks. I'm glad I asking good questions. There's,
So
I
they'll-
mean, you just,
We hold it as long as it takes for, so we've just had one recently, unclaimed, where nobody, there's nobody. It's sad to say, but there's nobody.
Yeah.
We did our due diligence to reach out and find somebody. The family did, the group did. There's nobody.
right? Okay.
2 weeks, she was at our funeral home with nobody to claim her. And at any point at that time, if we were inspected, we would be fined, right? Anyways, then they file for an unclaimed body through the state of Michigan. Hopefully they are approved, and if they are, they can move forward with the cremation. Meaning the medical examiner is then authorized to sign and dispose of the body.
And who gives that authorization? Is
The
that
medical
Laura?
examiner. That's the state of Michigan statute.
After 2 weeks.
Is that,
Well, it's
is
not,
that a judge or something that has to sign off on it?
no, the medical examiner can.
The state mental,
No, just be the county medical examiner.
Oh.
They can.
And then that's property of the county.
I was gonna bring her Ashley
The
with me
urn?
tonight, but I thought that's.
Seriously, property, that is. Him and.
It's our responsibility as the county.
That is now, she is now property of the county.
Yes.
we're gonna have to build a special storage room?
So in the meantime, thankfully, there was some reimbursement through the state of Michigan for the cremation process, which probably didn't even cover those costs, let alone transportation and storage. And I mean, so there's a huge loss here to this business, so they've done it graciously for the county. But now, again, this is now property of the county.
Right. And that's the extreme of what we're talking about. There are instances where, think of it where somebody was found at their home. Nobody there though, maybe a well-being check. That happens a lot. Then the police find the individual, call for the medical examiner, and they can't find family. There is family somewhere, but they can't find them. What do you do for those a couple of days until you can find them? Well, you can't leave them there. Where should you take them?
Right, well,
There should be a county holding.
I got a
place for
couple
that.
of renters. I've thought about that. If they passed, I don't even know who to call.
Yeah.
I know. I have no
you call the
idea.
Police, right, and they start.
Well, I would call the police, yes, but
Right,
I wouldn't know who to call for family,
right.
you know?
So
I
they
mean,
track them down and then they do a pretty good job of that, right? They,
So my concern that I brought up at the end of this meeting that gets me pretty upset, is So now what I see happening in the field, since this is being pushed, is the ME there with an unexpected death, pushing for the family to pick a funeral home.
Yeah.
And that's,
It happens all the time and it's unfortunate that they.
because they're
it-
trying, let me finish,
Yeah,
Commissioner Scott.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they're trying to avoid this from happening. I don't think that to me is very disturbing. And she came back with, would you rather have a professional caring for that body, or would you rather have that body in a professional setting, which would be a storage facility? I said, well, I don't think that body should be anywheres until the family has time to digest, for one, what just happened, and for two, to seek other family members' opinions and to come up with a plan, which takes time. It's not when medical examiner and everybody else is in your home and you're in shock to pick a place and what's your plan and what's going on.
Yeah.
It's different when it's suspected, but when it's not, that's a totally different scenario. So that's what I foresee happening in the field is this, because there's no secondary plan.
Right.
So I did get pretty.
What you're saying then, Jen, is once a family says you can take it, you will then.
100%.
And you're in compliance with Laura and all that stuff.
Because that's who we work for.
Because they sign off this, my loved one, I'm signing off for externals, I'm signing a release.
Just like medical care, same kind
Correct.
of
Well,
thing.
then I'm responsible for him coming to get my loved one
Yeah.
and transportation back to the
Okay.
funeral home and
All
everything
right.
else.
That makes
The
it
problem that we're running into is
unclaimed.
the unclaimed, and again, the other problem is even is my loved one just died and I have to pick externals right now because they're pushing in something
Right.
down my throat.
You have to
Right.
fix another example. There is family, but there's no family locally. They may be out of state, they may be downstate.
Right.
Those people may, it might be a deer hunter that came up here deer hunting
Well, it could
and
be the guy driving the car,
But we.
I-75, right?
Today,
exactly. So until, that family determines where they want their loved one taken, that body's kind of in limbo, and that's where we're at. We need to know what to do, figure out what to do with that body until
that's what his point is.
that there's a determination made as to who's gonna take care of the remains.
Body in your possession unless it's
I get it,
approved
yeah.
by next of kin.
Oh,
Down in the bigger cities, you see it on TV and what have you, but the coroner shows up and it's a county vehicle, county van. They bring them off to the county morgue and that's how the system goes. The further you get north in Michigan, you lack that because you don't have that infrastructure in place and they never have. The
Right.
state is pushing these regulations and it's making it harder and harder for the local funeral homes to be doing these types of things anymore. And they're kind of creating this problem that the county now has to figure out what are we gonna do? And even these medical examiner groups that you have, the ones in the city do it right. The Wayne counties and the Genesee counties, they have county morgues and
Facilities.
vans and facilities, and you have those things. So they're okay. But it's as you get further up in the northern part that you don't have these things.
I was sure that when we did this negotiating and stuff, that we said we need full service.
Phil was here during the conversation.
I tried to plead the point, but yeah.
He's seen this coming.
No, hold on, what do you mean you tried to plead the point?
I made it very clear that was what they were lacking, and she's
very intelligent, very good.
and she said that we partner with local funeral homes, and that's how we do it. That was their point, and that's what their structure is based on. And
Why did you say at that time, you can't partner with me unless the family says
well,
so?
one, I knew she had never asked us, and again, she's not here to
Well, there's
defend.
not another one in town,
What's that?
funeral home, they're Prescott, right?
Right?
That you guys are the only two in the county, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, man, what, this sounds like the record problem, calling a record anymore. Well, I mean, this is nuts.
Commissioner, we'll see.
So why aren't they here tonight? This is
They were invited.
topic.
They were invited.
She said she had a conflict for tonight.
Yeah,
Send somebody else.
I got that they didn't want to be put on the spot. She was very open in that meeting. She wanted to meet one-on-one. And she asked numerous times and I refused. I said, I want everybody in, before this escalates like it did with the previous medical examiner organization. I wanted to, there's no reason for all of us to sit down and this impacts all of us. So then she had reached out to Phil and to Brush and they were scheduled for a meeting and I asked Commissioner Serbrook and myself joined as well. And I was hoping she would be here tonight, but she did not.
And I thought that was a good discussion that we had during that meeting.
But
We didn't accomplish anything, so to speak,
well,
but
but we put it out on the table, but it was, did she not get her way?
Well, again, she's very intelligent. She's a very good speaker. At one point in time, I had to ask her to stop. Because she's very good at going around stuff. Then there's no clear cut answer. I think they know it to an extent from what I got out of it, because they do have a morgue. There was two different stories. They have a morgue in Alpena that
It's not there,
started,
so.
it started- they built it.
Yeah.
And then it went to, we rent it, and then it went to ARPA money that Alpena put it up. So I don't really know what the story was. But again, we do have facilities in town that do have storage areas.
He was here and said that.
They have no contract with them. They have no, and then they do also have she said they had a van. They have transport that's available, but she didn't feel it could cover all 16 of her county. I mean, did I misinterpret that?
Yeah, I think that's right, but I don't have a clear understanding of that.
Our individuals have to go for an autopsy. Do you take them?
The last one, it went to Port Huron. It was just this week. And again, here's a situation that we were put in is we were able to, we went and got the individual, brought him into our care. And then they sent a transport company to go to autopsy and bring back. So that's good.
We're getting those bills individually.
Yes.
When we do claims,
Yeah.
you see all of this, we're getting those bills on top of, all we're paying is administration and the ME. Like, so when we're doing claims, which I think that's cool because we see all this stuff, but I hadn't really understood that.
Are you billing us?
They won't let us.
Oh, that's good.
So are you with Phil?
You guys cost.
You can come on up.
That's-
I don't know him.
I just wanted to say the term was à la carte. You guys pay for the minimum and everything else is being charged.
The old contract from your previous company started out fairly reasonable, and I think there was a 5-year agreement, and I think this year it would have been like 115,000 is kind of what that would have been for everything. That contract was, dissolved when they went defunct. This group, I don't even know the contract, but is it in the $60,000 or $70,000?
Significantly less. There's also been a lot less autopsies. There's been a lot less, but we're paying for all of that individually, like the toxicologies that come through that we see in claims that are cool to look at.
But there's a reason why it's substantially less though. And now you're seeing this, you're seeing why it's substantially less because they don't have.
Added cost.
Sure, they don't have the extra part in the.
Sorry.
And
So he's doing this out of the goodness of the heart when it's an unclaimed body, but families are paying otherwise. Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Mayhew.
Here that she was here the first time, she told us that they had transportation, but it was in neighboring counties and it'd take forever and they would use you. Is the way I believe it was. It was to include you, make you happy, get you money. Is the way I took it.
and it works, the system works if they can get that at the time that they respond, if they can get that family to decide on a funeral home, the whole thing works. Because they don't need a place for them to go.
Right, if they're local, it's you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If it's not local, then it's a different deal, but.
Well, if it's not local, here's what can happen though. If it's not local, say that they're up visiting let's say they're up hunting and they're at a cabin, right? And they're from Detroit.
Yeah.
And they pass in our town. They call the spouse and she's, down below and they're like, yeah, well, I want to use my funeral home. They're next door. Well, what should happen is when we respond by that other funeral home, they've chosen them. Well, that other funeral home can call us and say, can you do us this as a courtesy? to pick up and hold while we drive up.
And you could do
Then
that.
we can do that. We're acting in as an agent of them,
Right.
funeral home to funeral home. That's, you know, that's fine.
How often does that happen?
Quite a little bit, quite a little bit. But that you have the situation that you're, you know, concerned with.
It's
The
horrible.
unclaimed.
No, the
Oh,
one, the unclaimed,
Yeah,
the
but
one, the
you gotta- You
unexpected.
gotta tell us right now.
Let me just pass this around.
Funny.
This is the last year's violations from the funeral homes, and that's what I'm concerned about right there.
So what we agreed with, well, liability, yes, but it's also what's right. So what we agreed with in the meeting that we had a week ago, we spoke for everybody, is that if anything happened, to continue doing what they're doing until we make a decision. But in the meantime, if any fines or anything occur, they're responsibility of the county.
Can the county say to you, take care of it, just as if we were the family? No,
That's not my understanding, and that's not the interpretation from the Michigan Funeral
we
Directors.
can't go upstairs and have a judge say that? Ask the judge?
I don't believe so.
The authority is with the ME. With the ME.
Well, if the family says, take them to Acme Funeral Home in Dearborn, you're not even gonna ask me, you're just gonna go ahead and have.
Well, the ME still has to.
Oh, they have to sign off.
Sure.
Right,
They released that.
and
individual.
they probably will, right? It's,
Unless
as long
there's
as
unless
there's
there's an
a check.
investigation,
well, yeah, okay, but
then it's theirs until they release from the investigation, autopsy, blood work, what have you.
So what does this mean, license placed on, I'm sorry, but
No, that's fine.
so say that it's an investigation, where does the client,
They hire
they hire a transport?
a transport and then they hire the autopsy and then they find whatever funeral home the family has chosen is.
Does the county have to find a transit company now?
So there's not very many solutions here, right? But there's a couple of them, and one good one is there's a potential where the removal company is interested in coming to this area. And they have expressed interest. The other would be you contract with the local morgue or holding, but that solves one of the issues. The other issue is transport.
I mean, that's over there in McLaren, right?
I know McLaren did have one. That's what, I think
That's what that lady-
my Michigan did as well. I think,
Oh.
I could be
So
sure that they did.
McLaren was the main one, because actually, they have more storage than my Mich does. So
Both have two. They both have capacity for two.
For two each.
Correct.
yeah, either way,
All right.
The other
so-
one was contracted with McLaren.
yeah.
So. Are we gonna have to need to make some kind of arrangement with them, or are we gonna be out looking for another ME?
This is our.
So the other issue is there's a couple of, so one of the thoughts was, well, you guys can create your own morgue, right? Build your own, but ultimately, that's not an option, because there's actually a couple of morgue laws that have been brought into play as well, where it kind of does solve that one issue that you have with that individual not being in professional care, okay? The morgue law states that in order to have a private morgue, meaning you operate a cold facility,
Yeah,
you have to have a licensed funeral director overseeing that morgue, not associated with the funeral home, but actually on staff with that morgue. Then the other catch there is that you can operate under the capacity of a hospital or a university without having that caveat of a funeral director. So there's a couple options for a morgue, but what I'm saying is that really makes having a morgue privately very expensive,
oh, yeah.
Well, then we
and
can-
not really feasible.
It just makes sense to have a private one when we have two local facilities.
If they're willing to work, right?
Commissioner Wilson?
Well, I mean, if the local facilities are willing to work, we have that option, but we actually have our own option as well in a very secure facility at the jail. I mean, we do have a walk-in cooler that is at the jail where it would be completely protected by our sheriff department and our corrections officers. I mean, I'm brainstorming.
Well, so that was actually your former
Tim?
yeah, Tim's actually, he actually brought that suggestion up. And it was a good suggestion, but remember, in order for you to operate that morgue,
Said about the,
yeah, privately, you would have to have it under funeral director supervision.
it can't be you.
Can't be me.
It has to be,
Correct. It'd have to be somebody not associated with the funeral home.
Cannot practice at the same time as doing that.
Which,
There's a bunch of them around
it could
too.
be a
well, it
funeral home from Gladwin, a director. over
would have to be like a retired funeral director.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
He can't have an active.
correct.
Fabian, do you have any input? I know you had a conversation with Lisa as well. Do you have any input on this?
I think that their position has been outlined here today. And I think that at this point, we wait to hear what Lara says. And then based on what they say, come up with a game plan for moving forward.
So what's our plan? Because she's had 2 weeks to reach out to them and respond, and I have heard nothing.
We need to do it on our own then.
She needs to come in here. If she doesn't, that's breach of contract as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
They don't send a representative here.
I don't believe they're breach of their contract, only in the fact that they're providing what they told you they'd provide. They just don't provide this.
Yeah, but they told us they could in a relationship with a funeral home, and they don't have that.
No, they
They,
did,
They
they,
can't get that.
and that's the rub right now.
They can't get it.
they did tell us that.
They did.
Yeah,
So-
they
so
told
they're
us
not
that,
Holding up their.
and assuming that you were gonna take care of it. You can't do that.
Legally though, not out of the willingness or the
Oh, I'm not
kindness,
asking about willingness. I'm talking about legalities.
legalities.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they misrepresented to us what they can do. As far as I'm concerned, myself, and I'm not that expert, but that's breach of contract.
So
You lied to me.
the only other thing though, just to make sure too, is they've been, this, where Laura is really coming down on funeral homes is very new.
Well, that might be, but
So,
they are.
you know, the year ago when they did this, the funeral homes were, this was kind of very new where they're really starting to push these fines. And I'm not sticking up for them. I'm not sticking up for you. I'm just,
Fine, but they're
Yeah.
gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you don't wanna do it because you got the chance that they're gonna do it to you.
Right.
So this ME company that I'm hired here told me that they're gonna take care of it, and they're not. And they're not even coming to our meeting.
But I mean, she is interpreting the law differently, and
Right.
primarily probably because it will impact 17 different counties. So I mean, it's not fair to attack her. She's not here.
Yeah.
We just
Don't
have to
pay
come
the
up with we have to come up with a solution.
right. And that's actually, you laid it out probably the best, right? I mean, I agree with you, but you have to be fair to her too. I mean, as far as,
She had the
She-
statute,
she-
she had everything in
correct.
front of her. She did,
Correct.
she did, but her Emmy had talked to your legal counsel, who's the head guy at, what's his name?
his name is Phil Duma,
Okay,
and he,
they said he's top notch.
they talked and he just, no, he's just not agreeing with anything that she's bringing forward. He's like, no, you can't do it.
And he's head of what exactly?
So he is an attorney and he only works for the Michigan Funeral Directors Association. And he actually basically helps actually write these laws, or did write them back when they were written.
Well, to me, it really makes sense. I understand how you can interpret this. I've been reading this now for a little period of time, but to me, it really makes sense. You shouldn't have a body in your possession unless you have next of kin's okay. It's a liability. Everything about it makes sense to me. It really truly does. I mean, to me, it should be pretty black and white. Until you have a signature to have that body, you plain and simply, you shouldn't have it.
That's just,
There should be a policy, a procedure in place. What to do with that body in the meantime. It really truly to me is.
Let's not pay her. She'll come to a meeting. We don't pay the bills, she'll come up.
Can we invite her, formally invite her to come to a meeting?
Do we have the sheriff call her?
Go ahead.
How come I got a whole bunch of different prices?
Yeah, so the fines are based on the size of the funeral home and their call volume and how many clients they do. And so when they get a fine, and these can be various different fines, right? So certain fines are higher than others. But it's based on how big of a firm they are, if they're a small little company or a big,
Well, we hired them. Now, you was here. They said we could get by with anybody with a doctor could pronounce them dead.
Mhm.
If we have that, what do we have?
So this group is basically
If we
the.
Didn't have the group. If we
Yeah, the group, well, yeah, I get to your answer your question. The group is not your medical examiner. You have a medical examiner for the county that works for this company. He is your medical examiner, period. This group is just the surrounding him to do administratively what he needs to do to make the county run medical examiner. So you have a medical examiner. Point blank, you have to, it's law. This group is just surrounding them to make that flow because they have so many.
Paying them for this service that we ain't getting right now.
This group this group has the medical examiner. They're paying him.
Yes,
Right, but if we just had a doctor pronounce him dead.
we have this is how the county's operated, so there hasn't been super many. Back in the day, the namesake of our funeral home, Win Sternall, he was the coroner of this county. He owned and operated an ambulance service. Well, some laws changed and he wasn't able to do that, so the county hired Dr. Papp. Does that name ring a bell in the county? Dr. Papp was your county coroner. He would run around with a pistol in his pocket and a badge and a light on his car, and that was Dr. Papp. And then after Dr. Papp was Dr. Hall. And then after Dr. Hall was Dr. Caston. So that's how you've operated since the beginning. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot.
Right, my question is if we went back to them, what do we have?
You have a medical examiner, but zero resources. So you would have to hire same stuff, everything.
Investigators and.
Correct. You had to have investigators hired, a car, a cot. You'd have to have a holding facility. You'd have to have a removal company.
I was wondering
Yeah, right.
what we had to have if that's what we had.
And that's what you would have got if you did what like Iosco and I think Oscoda is doing right now with Dr. Maroney. He is just an individual doctor doing these services for multiple counties. And Matt would tell you the same thing, that they don't have any of this stuff in place over there now. They're doing all his legwork and all that stuff. Again, the problem is going to be when they're doing these things and somebody gets caught, they're going to get in trouble.
No, I'm just.
Yeah.
When he was here, that's what they said we had to have
Correct.
at the minimum.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Let's go back to how it was. It would be great. Times change.
There's a lot of laws.
Move forward.
Right.
So we need to get this company in front of us.
We need to come up with a solution, but
Well, it
We're
might
gonna
not.
have to ask questions that we don't even know.
Again,
Unless I get
I
on
was
the
hoping
phone
it was
and
going
call
to be
some
here this
funeral
evening.
director I know by chance and ask him for some advice.
well, we just got all of our advice right here.
All of it?
Well, I was hoping to have, there's a removal company that was supposed to be here this evening, and he was really interested in having, a part in this as far as, hey, I have property in the county even.
She was very, she liked that idea. You brought it up at the meeting. I mean, you mentioned it and she wasn't against it.
No, I think she was against maybe the professionalness of it, which I think is solved now because it used to be, before March of last year, anybody could start up a removal business with a car and a cot and just go door to door and do that. They can't anymore. You have to be a licensed, morgue facility and a licensed transport company to do that. So just nobody.
Transport company has to have their own
Oh,
morgue.
yeah, morgue and licensed to do all this. Yeah. This is
Okay.
all new stuff. So you don't have the issue of just anybody doing it.
No more mom and pop
Yeah.
out picking up people.
Oh, gosh. Commissioner Serbrook.
I think probably the first thing we need to do is get Lisa here
And get our contract out on.
and go over things. And I realize we're gonna rehash what we probably
Correct,
in the meeting that, that we had together.
correct.
Cause I really am not gonna hold my breath that Laura's gonna say one way or another. I've seen how the state of Michigan works too much to say. It'd be nice if they would say, okay, your ME is relying on this law that you can act as their agent, you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Or not.
Or not.
Give us a definitive answer one way or another, and I don't think they're going to, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Well, let's, anything else, Fred?
Anyways, I bring it forth only in the fact that we live it, we see it every day. I mean, and we're probably one of the first counties that's going to try to solve this problem if possible. And if they do come down on this and Laura decides, and if it is against, it's gonna create a whole system change.
Firestorm.
Yeah.
Statewide first.
Yes.
Well, no matter what, and also I want to verify in the field that it's not happening. These families are not being rushed to make these types of decisions to avoid this. That's one of my main concerns. We very seldom have unclaimed bodies for like we did 2 weeks ago or for that period of time. We need to solve that as well, but
Yeah, right.
my main issue is those families being rushed into making a forever decision.
Pressured into deciding who's gonna.
And in a very emotional time. Yes.
In the meanwhile, because Commissioner David, you've said a few times, but what are we gonna do now?
They've agreed. Oh, I'm sorry.
Couldn't we ask Fabian to reach out to McLaren and see where we currently stand with the possibility of using them as a storage area?
We could, but that's kind of like that's our contract with them. That's their job to do that.
Right.
We've hired them.
But what they're saying is it's not in their contract, that's above and beyond, but they can't even.
I think they
offer
would,
that.
I think they would if you agreed to pay that.
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
I would prefer, which I understand, if maybe reach out and see if the availability is there, but
Mhm.
ultimately I would like them to have that. I'd like them to be responsible for all that. I'm sure our cost is gonna go
I
up,
understand that.
but
They should be here. We need to get.
I agree with that the medical examiner should be the one contacting them.
they know all the details. They know about bodies and how this process goes.
They should have been here today then. The representative should have been here.
Yeah, and even the way that we even read through the law, and we're not attorneys, so maybe we're way off, but the way that we read it is even that these medical examiners groups that are offering these services shouldn't just be doing a la carte stuff. It should be everything that you need. The way that they're doing it, to me, is a little disingenuous to offer just this, but yet you need all this.
Right.
I just-
But that's what
I just feel like-
understanding that they were doing everything.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We're getting billed for it.
Yeah.
But thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
Well,
We will invite Lisa and at the next meeting. In the meantime, if anything occurs, Phil, please let us know.
so are we gonna have Fabian a letter asking her to find out about contract the local morgues?
We're gonna ask Fabian to ask her to be here as soon as possible, even if it's next week at a Thursday meeting.
That's good.
You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we're gonna leave it right now. Thanks, Phil.
Yep, thank you.
Sale of county property. Hi, guys.
Hey. First of all, Fabian, thank you for all the time that you had to put into this.
Yes. Yes.
We appreciate it. So we have Rabbit Track, we have an offer. The offer is for a land contract. The county attorney has looked everything over. After talking to Fabian, I thought maybe a land contract isn't so smart, maybe a purchase money mortgage. That way, there's no liability on her program because he would own the property, then she would turn around and put a mortgage on it.
When
Say that
I,
again?
So
when I read it over, I thought that would be the way to go. And it
Yes.
kind of sounds like that's what the county attorney recommended as well. because of.
They were
if-
against
if-
the land
If
contract.
need be,
Yeah.
foreclosure is a whole lot
It's so
simpler.
much easier. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
But
yes.
say that process again, because you
Okay.
you lost me somewhere.
Okay, so,
Not the land contract, I know that.
okay, so when you do a purchase money mortgage.
Yep,
It's like you become the bank. The home improvement program company, I'm gonna call it, owns that property.
yep.
And it's gonna be deeded to them, to the husband and wife,
Okay,
and then she's gonna give them a mortgage.
Should be like the bank.
She'll be like the bank.
They'll be like the bank.
what happens if they don't pay her?
It's, then you foreclose on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
But if it's a land hunt,
What we do now.
yeah, she already does that part.
Yeah.
With all, everything else that she does. And we come to find out this guy years ago borrowed money from the program to put a well in.
oh, so.
So he understands that. So let me tell you about, did you guys get a copy
Of the purchase.
of the
Yes.
purchase agreement? Okay, so, well, glasses. So he's offered 58,000 with 15 down.
Oh, nice.
6% interest.
6% interest, 5-year balloon, payments are $362.86 a month. And he would close by the end of the month as long as we.
He understands what a balloon is.
Oh, yes. Oh, he has the paperwork. He's seen it. Yes, he knows what a balloon is, that he will own money. He told me.
Have to go to the bank
Oh, you're not gonna
5 years.
refinance them in 5 years?
he would have to.
No, you're not gonna offer
No.
them refinancing at the end of 5 years?
No.
No.
Comment.
Go
I'm
ahead.
lucky if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
In this economy, in this day and age, this is a very good deal for him.
Yes, he wants to make rental out of it. He's done his inspection of it already. Remember, we had a pipe that broke?
Yep,
We really don't know what the
damages?
damage is inside. He has looked at it. He has his his father and his father-in-law are both contractors. One is heating and cooling and the other one is electrical. So he's pretty much, and he does drywall.
They got it covered.
Yeah, because the last time they were here, it had fallen through.
Yes.
It had fallen through because of this pipe that was.
Yes, they weren't willing to purchase it
Right.
after that. So
I think this is excellent. Thank you for all this legwork.
not a problem. Happy to do it.
Thanks, guys. You good?
I would just like to take an opportunity to thank you for all the hard work you do. I know a lot of my constituents in Mills Township. There's been a lot of work done because of you and your quarterbacking that, and that really helps their families.
Yeah.
And it's greatly appreciated. So thank you for your commitment to our county and all that you do to help, especially our residents that really need that extra help.
So I have to tell you, I've been in this business for 34 years. And she's the first person I remember meeting coming into the office to talk about the program.
Nice. Commissioner Scott, anything?
What was the price of the house before?
63,
Before
before the pipe broke,
Yeah.
63.
So he's offering 58.
He's offering 58.
Okay, that's,
Yeah.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah,
Commissioner Mayhew, anything?
Nope.
Commissioner Serbrook? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Have a good night.
And then it'll be, whoops. It'll be approved at the next meeting. And then I get together with you to sign.
But you can have it at the next meeting. I can sign right after we approve it.
Okay, awesome.
Just put the paperwork to baby in.
Okay.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Interim county administrator. So I had asked to put this on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you leave, just wanted to let you know that Don is online if anybody has any questions
I see.
to that,
Okay. Related to
to the sale.
you had already ran all this by, you've been involved in this, very actively involved. You had no questions, right?
He answered my questions, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that if you had questions.
Thank you.
He was available.
Yeah, you and I had talked earlier this week.
Mhm.
Interim county administrator, Fabian?
Well,
I reached out.
you
I
asked,
did. I reached out to Fabian earlier this week and I asked this to be put on, because at the last meeting, we voiced concerns as far as him being in the interim and the time period and reposting the position. So we wanted to make sure that he was good with staying for this period of time. So He informed me of some information that I was not aware of, that his interim contract goes until the end of March.
Yes, it does.
So, which is fantastic. I think that this will give us adequate time and we had talked about a, time of period where he would help with, introductions and education and, hopefully, yeah, so I don't think that that would be real lengthy. Hopefully maybe 2 weeks or so, kind of like he did with Tim. That was very brief.
Right.
And you, fit in those shoes very well and have done a very good job. So the good news is the contract was only supposed to go till the end of February, but there was an error and it goes till the end of March. So he was already anticipating staying for that period of time,
If needed.
if needed.
Right. The one thing I do want to bring up is the current contract limits me to being paid for 21 hours. I can tell you I'm working more than 21 hours and would like you to consider bumping that up to 25 hours a week. So that's,
Gentlemen,
Go ahead.
I mean, since Fabian's been here, we haven't hardly missed a step. I think we've obviously made a great choice as an intern. I know there's been some things that we're working on where we've asked Fabian if he could be, available on the days he's not here via phone call, and if he can, he's available. He's doing a great job for us, and I fully support the additional 4 hours a week, for as long as.
if needed.
If needed, I support that.
Commissioner Scott,
You're asking me?
I always
If
ask.
I offer a deal, you were gonna be mad. No, I got nothing.
You
to say.
offered a deal after the deal was made. Who does that?
That was
I
one of-
do.
that was one of the worst deals in the history of the world.
Oh, boy.
Never heard of that. Paying
Oh, boy.
hourly for travel.
Oh, boy. I got nothing to say. I'm not gonna get in the middle of this.
Anything? Commissioner Serbrook.
I am completely in favor of the additional time. He's working it. Man deserves it.
If I send him a Christmas card, be enough.
It's pretty generous. I don't disagree. I'll mirror what you guys said. You're awful generous, but I agree. He's been a valuable asset in this transition. So we do definitely appreciate that. He's brought these hours up to me a couple different times, and I just kind of keep prolonging the conversation. So I'm trying to make up for
Save us
what
a couple
Commissioner
weeks worth,
Scott
right?
has done.
Yeah.
A couple months worth, okay.
So I put that conversation off. So anyways, item G, safety committee, building and security. Commissioner,
This morning we had our county budget meeting. Buck was there, Commissioner Serbrook was there, Fabian was there. Another great meeting, it's great to see all of our stakeholders are pretty much consistently coming to the meetings now, a lot of great conversations. An item that got brought up when, the undersheriff was discussing, an item that you guys will hear at our next committee whole meeting, you have a little idea of, the items we're working on with the building security and bailiffs and a new system in place, because we definitely need to upgrade that. We started talking about a lot of different conversations, and Tracy, I believe, brought up regarding that we don't have any type of safety director or consistent, a person in place to look at things such as our AEDs that are
Battery.
currently in the building are expired. Batteries are not where they need to be, and we currently have an order to spend $2,000 in batteries. But with that being said, is we don't have someone to go around consistently making sure that our safety measures are in place, that in case we ever would need to use one of these items, it's gonna be able to be used. So we just thought, well, we know we quarterly have our building security meetings. So any of those, current members right now, which right now Commissioner Serbrook, myself, Brock is on that. We could ask whoever wanted to be able to stay at an additional 15 minutes or half hour, or whatever it would take quarterly after that meeting. We start a safety committee. And I imagine there'd be one person that would be assigned to, going around making sure that these items are checked, whether it be quarterly or once every 6 months. We could have a nice spreadsheet, AEDs, in courtroom, probate in here checked, everything, everything's good. It's it's a simple process, but we need to, just like we were doing with our build security and our bailiffs, we need to up our game. And this is just another one of those things as we progress, we need to be able to make sure that the items we have in place are gonna work if they're ever needed. So,
Yeah, I received the email from Tracy as well when there was some battery issues with AED, I think on this level, and who's responsible for checking them. And like at our office, they have to be checked monthly, like literally it's gotta be checked off and initialed, and that's my nurse that's responsible for that. My question would be is, who's now, and I'm sure that this is gonna come next at our next committee of the whole, who's the director of the security, the bailiffs, like who's overseeing them now?
well, currently right now, Rick, who's been in that position forever, is still the head coordinator. But there is more communication than ever with the sheriff department, who is working on this new plan. And then also Sergeant Knopfsinger has been
Lieutenant
involved,
Knopfsinger.
Lieutenant Knopfsinger has been involved to help, where that was more of some of the payroll stuff.
Yep.
But anyways, still, so to answer your question, still Rick, but there's a lot more conversation going on because the undersheriff said today that we already have a few of the bailiffs that have signed up for this training. They need to have more training. They need to be, if they're gonna carry a weapon in our county building, they need to have the IMCO certified training. We need to have more consistent trainings. And these things we're so lacked, none of that stuff was happening.
So in my opinion, and this is because I have no very little information, is this AED checks and any safety checks should come from the director of security.
Well, that could possibly be it, but also as brainstorming here today, and I talked to Fabian about this the other day. I'm not happy with the way we have a full-time maintenance man here, we have janitors, and we truly do not have someone that's consistently overseeing them, make oversight, making sure that, the communication's there between the two of them. I mean, we all know that there's animosity between that group. When you have animosity, you're not doing your job at the fullest. We've had some people come to us and tell us that some of the jobs aren't getting done around here as they should. And I asked Fabian the other day, I said, we've been talking about this for a while. I talked to Tim Delahoney about this for a while. Tim was their boss, and Tim was so busy doing other things, he really didn't have time to oversee our janitors and our maintenance guy. And I asked Fabian the other day, I said, we need to talk about this. We need to figure this out. We need to have better leadership of that division. And, we know how it is. If we don't have the leadership, we're not going to get the work out of them.
I was actually gonna ask Fabian to put that on the committee of the whole for next time, because I received some images and some concerns about some other things about the building that definitely, I agree with you. I was planning on having that put on. That definitely needs to be discussed. It has been ongoing issues, and I think it's gotten worse versus better.
We need to have that conversation, and we need to have it now. We need to get a strategy in place when we have structure. And I truly do not think our county administrator controller should be overseeing the janitors and our maintenance man. I mean, I think we have other options there. But with this all being said, what I'm thinking is, Chris, this would be another job. He needs to have structure of what exactly is he doing every day. This would be an item for him. Why isn't he going around making sure that these items are in place? Well, he's not, because we do not have any type of leadership for him. Well, maybe this would be put into place that this would be his job.
I can tell you I had a conversation with him about that today, and he is gonna start monitoring those. So just wanted to.
There's gotta be training on those too. That's not.
Well, just checking the batteries is what.
Checking the batteries in the pads to make sure it's not
Be
flare.
checked monthly, turned on. There's actually a technique that goes to that. It's not just checking the batteries. Those machines need to be really checked, and our emergency manager should actually be part of this.
Well, I know Mike has been briefed on this and talked with him, right?
I think this is attached to that email that Tracy
Talked
sent.
to him and he said that it really isn't his responsibility, is what she said this morning.
So Mike said.
Commissioner Scott?
Well, I'll tell you, it's checklists. It's paperwork, it's documentation. You have a checklist and you give to the maintenance man, and it's a monthly checklist or a weekly checklist. If he checks it off and signs it, he did it. And if he didn't do it, we don't sit in here in the meetings and just keep saying, oh, we got great people and they do a great job.
Tone it down.
When they don't do a great job, you gotta say they don't do a great job. I don't know how many meetings I come to and I hear, oh, we got just great people working for the county. Well, not everybody's great all the time. There's complacency. And if you don't stay on top of it, if it's checking paperwork or anything, I mean, complacency happens. If you don't check on it and you don't back it up, you're gonna get complacency. It happens all over the place, whether it's the kid bagging, well, nobody bags groceries for you anymore, but I mean, it's just doesn't matter at what level it is.
Well, I think part of this is our problem, our fault for not following up with this and coming up with a very specific
I'll
plan.
go along with that.
Very specific plan. Unfortunately, we've been diverted. Now it is time to form a plan. This was just brought to my attention again last week by an email again with some very, very specific concerns and pictures.
I saw the same thing you did.
So, Commissioner Mayo,
If they don't have leadership,
there's nothing without leadership.
That's right. And we did find out that we've got some AEDs in this building that I don't think anybody really knew about.
So mine is the one that got moved into on the wall.
Okay. Because we found out that we weren't really, I wasn't aware of the ones down at probate or down in front of the
I
court.
thought we had two.
That's so did
I
I.
was told we had two.
This should come from security and there needs to be someone who's been trained on these AEDs. This is a life or death thing. This is serious. It shouldn't be, in my opinion, a janitor. This needs to be a monthly check, and in my opinion, this should come from the director of security, one of their monthly checklists.
Well, and we pay Mike Bowers
$2,600 a month.
and he's part of our bill. Is he part of our building security? I know he comes sometimes,
He
but
does from time to time, but he's not
Yeah.
always there.
no,
Should he
but
be?
it could be something, I mean, in regard to this,
Absolutely,
he could start having a more active role.
absolutely.
He should have a more active
Yeah.
role.
I think that we're saying all this, I mean, this is the time now, right? I mean, there's items that we were working on, we're getting through those. These are items that we need to address now. So what is the best way to address those? We need to have a structure.
And we
Structure in
need,
place.
we need a direct answer from Mike, what his plan is, not talking around it. A plan in place. Who would you like to see? I'm asking now that we've had the conversation.
Talking.
We want a direct answer from Mike of what his
Oh,
plan is.
absolutely.
This is
That's why we
what our
gotta get- we
expectations
gotta get
are.
People at the table.
Who do you want to be director? Who would you like to see oversee as far as leadership from over our maintenance department? Maintenance / housekeeping.
I mean, I'd like I'd like to have Brian Stein to come in here and talk with Brian and see if that'd be something he'd be willing to do, as long as I know he would, take it seriously and, I mean, other than that, I just know the controller administrator to me, is not the person. Brian Stein's one. I mean, I think Dom Spencer would do great, but I know he's our communication guy, and is that something he maybe be interested in? I mean, I just think this is what we're doing, but we need to get these people at the table. We need to sit down, we need to communicate, and we need to figure out.
I'm asking for
that
ideas.
person.
That's why I'm asking
That's
every
what
one
I'm
of us.
talking.
Go ahead, Commissioner Scott.
I'll wait till
I'd like to see.
the administrator can have a designee as far as I'm concerned. I know we don't have an administrator right now, but when we do, that person can designate a person to oversee. This is day-to-day operations. This isn't for the board. There's a number of things, even fire extinguishers need to be just looked at every month. I mean, I did it waste management. I had a checklist. I mean, had to check every one. It's just that simple. I think when you're going this, even in the bathrooms, I mean, how many of us go in a bathroom in a restaurant and there's a checklist on the wall? And somebody initials every day that restroom got cleaned.
Every hour.
Every hour, something.
In a lot of.
Yeah, sometimes it's that way. I mean, I just think that we're just saying to people, take care of it, and they don't. And then we say, oh, they're doing a great job. No, they're not.
Well, there hasn't been a person designated to do this job. That's, I think, why we're having
Well,
this.
we saw
conversation.
pictures of designated areas that should be done.
You brought up a name specific. Whoever it is needs, in my opinion, needs to be here in this building, not in a different building, needs to be actively here, needs to be seeing floors, needs to be seeing bathrooms, needs to be seeing everything. And I'm gonna disagree with you also that it is somewhat our jobs because I've had numerous complaints
Oh,
brought directly to me.
well, we're the complaint department. We get the complaints. There's no doubt there.
Well, unfortunately, it was under our previous county administrator, and I think with the workload that this took a back burner.
Well, I'll go along with that. It did, but, and I wish he would have designated somebody. That was a topic that him and I had a few times, that you gotta reach out and designate people to do things. Just don't take everything on your own. Delegate. Delegate some of this responsibility out.
Fabian, I guess in Mason County, what did you have? Who was over the maintenance / housekeeping?
We contracted housekeeping, so we did not have any housekeeping
Yeah,
employees
it's
by
not
the
a bad
time.
idea.
By the time I retired. For maintenance, we had a maintenance director, one person for all buildings, but his role was to oversee contractors. And so we needed something done. We hired a contract, unless it was, just a minor
Right.
repair thing. We would hire a contractor to do the work. We did not have a full-blown maintenance department like a lot of departments do. I mean, snow removal was all contracted, lawn mowing was all contracted.
See, he does all the lawn care.
Yeah, so that's the way we handle it. We by attrition, when I got there, that was all staff with county employees, but through attrition, we moved different roles into contracting and just bid those services out.
Commissioner Serbrook, comments?
I think we definitely need to take and get some leadership in there, determining who that is, and I agree with you. I think whoever it is should be, for the most part, in this building. Although the annex is a part of that function as well. I mean, there are issues over there too. But I think, for the majority of the time, that individual should be based in this building. As far as who that should be at this point in time, I don't know. I agree with what Commissioner Scott says that, in regards to the administrative controller delegating some of that authority to somebody. But who that individual is, I'm trying to think of who in this building, and of course, Tom Spencer comes to mind. I think Tom would be good at it. But again, number one, is that something that, as Tom sitting there listening, is it something that he'd even consider doing or not? I don't know.
So you guys want to put this on for next committee of the whole and we continue this every committee of the whole until it's resolved?
As far as I'm concerned, so until we get a full-time administrator, that's where I'm at, but.
I want to keep it on just to continue. So we also hear what they're talking about. So we stay informed.
Yeah.
Can we invite emergency manager Mike Bowers here?
I think, Mike should definitely be, here, and we should discuss the AED situation specifically.
All equipment in this building.
Emergency equipment, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. He should be responsible for
First aid kits in offices, where they are. I don't even know.
emergency buttons, all that stuff.
So maybe we can ask Mike, so he's prepared. Let's ask, I would like to know, again, I appreciate what Mike does. I have great communication with Mike. But our taxpayers are paying $2,600 a month for his services. I would like to know exactly what Mike is doing on a monthly basis. $2,600 a month. We all know what we're, everything we're looking at here, so. I'd like him to be prepared to come with a statement to tell us what he's doing, and we can have that conversation regarding equipment here on the building. And
Can you reach out?
Yes.
I know he's out of the country. I got an email there, but I don't remember the dates on it. Did you have something else?
Just the sheriff's got a couple of introductions to
I know, I'm gonna get to him. I see.
Oh,
Anything
I
else
know.
on this topic?
I'm good.
No,
He did not. We did not add him, but come on up, Sheriff. I appreciate for coming to the meeting and sitting through the meeting.
It's a long meeting.
it was a long one.
I accepted. Holy smokes, you're tall. I've laid eyes on you before. How tall are you?
6'5".
Okay.
Brian Shooter.
Hi,
Nice to meet
Jenny.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Masters.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Animal control and our new road dep. He's in phase 2 right now, so he's doing really well. Getting a lot of good feedback from both of them, actually, from our community. So doing really good. That was a good choice. I think that we pulled the trigger on these two, and I think we did really well on that. So
Hours of service, your availability.
I work Thursday to Monday, noon to 5, but Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Okay. And calls, you feel like you have adequate hours,
I feel like there definitely could be more hours. I feel like most days, I feel like it definitely could be a full-time position. There are some days where, I don't really have as many calls, but I still engage with the community, interact with people. I'll park down at like the Mills Township Hall a lot of times and, I'll park down there for a half hour. I'll look over some laws, brush up on things while I'm sitting there, and I'll have a lot of people that come up to my window either with complaints or just general community questions, ask about laws and things like that.
questions for the animal control?
No, I got a chance to shake hands with him earlier.
Questions? And the new deputy graduated from Delta. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name's Brian Shooter. I was in the military for about 8 years. I was a combat engineer.
Oh,
Did 2 tours to Afghanistan, decided I want to be a police officer, and I'm making the best go of it as I can.
nice. So you plan on working nights when you're done?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the plan? And how long before you're off orientation?
About a month and a
End of
half.
March, we're gonna get our other night shift up and running February 15th, I believe. 15th, he's gonna go to nights along with another deputy, training officer, and that way we'll be full staff with all of our.
So right now, there's no open positions.
Nope.
We're fully staffed.
Fully staffed.
Fantastic. I got asked that last night, so I just want to make sure that. Are you in the community?
I live in Ogemaw County.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. Are you from here?
I'm not. I've lived here almost 5 years though.
Okay, well, welcome. Questions for him?
Sheriff had both of them here for our law enforcement meeting today, and we already met with Dakota, but.
Yes.
Appreciate what you guys do, appreciate your service. Thank you.
Thank you.
Comments, questions? Any questions for us?
Not right now.
Perfect. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Have a good night, you guys.
Commissioner comments, any?
Comments, not reports, right?
Yes, comments only. Commissioner Wiltie?
I have a question for Commissioner Scott.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Very adamant and excited he got about, we're praising people that aren't doing good work. I guess I'm really confused by that because I think if anything, the last 3 years, people that haven't done work, we're trying to get more out of them, creating more leadership. And you were very adamant about that. So could you clarify a little bit
I
on that?
just think that I hear it a lot, and you don't hear it a lot from me because unless it's really stands out. That's I managed people for many years, and I'm kind of a little old fashioned. You got a job to do and I expect you to do it. My boss expected me to do it and I did it. I didn't ask for kudos or anything extra. I did extra if I did. I didn't, but I guess I'm old fashioned in that way. It's just, yeah, I don't know this anymore. It seems like we're patting everybody on the back for everything, and we're calling it incentives and stuff. And I don't think we're incentivizing a lot, You know, I belong to the motorcycle club and we put on races and we don't trophy every place, you know, to incentivize. The kids' classes, we may trophy a little bit farther down, you know, but we don't give out participation awards to everybody. I think sometimes when we pat everybody on the back for doing a great job, then it's kind of like a participation award for me. And it's an opinion, just an opinion. And you know, I don't think I never expected to get a pat on the back for doing my job. Do something extra, maybe. And at the end of the year, you know, the Christmas party was the pat on the back or something like that. Maybe the Christmas bonus or something. I don't know. I just sometimes I watch people in the county here, and I've seen a lot of complacency in a lot of different positions, and I just I don't like you know, I'm the guy that does surveys and answers number 9 to everything. I don't answer number 10. I answer number 9. You know, do you extremely agree? No, I agree, but I don't extremely agree. I'm that kind of guy. I mean, I just don't, I answer 9 out of 10, not 10 out of 10 on unless it's really good. I mean, if I get excellent service at a restaurant, I'll tip very well. If I don't, you don't see it.
Did you get your comment, your question answered?
No.
So that's,
We can do it another day. We can do it another day.
No.
Commissioner Scott,
No, I think the meetings that we've been having are very productive, and I think that we're getting out there, and I commend you for going around the table. You're taking more time to go around the table. And I'm gonna give you a pat on the back for that one.
well, I appreciate that, but I have always tried to give everybody an opportunity, but we also need to continue to move forward and not continue to go around and around and around. So I do work very diligently on making sure everybody has at least one opportunity to talk, so I appreciate that. But I want to comment to what Commissioner Wiltie, I think my comment to that would be is that we haven't actually fixed certain problems because we've gotten redirected or it continues to be put on the back burner. So I think that this is something that needs to be brought to light and a solution needs to be formed, and it all comes down to leadership.
Yep.
And that starts with us.
Yep. Absolutely.
So let's put it on the next committee of the whole and continue to talk about it. Commissioner Mayhew.
You're good.
Commissioner Serbrook.
Just a couple of things we got at our budget. I realize this is not report time, but we got a preliminary audit report. And it looks good. We're still waiting evidently for the road commission to finalize their stuff. And preliminary report looks very, very good.
Fabian, anything for us?
Nothing additional.
Okay, public comment. Anything?
Thank you. Everything's fine. Thank you for asking.
Public comment on the phone? Any public comment on the phone? Motion to adjourn?
You bet.
Support? I support you. We're out.
Jenny, I need your signature on one thing.